You good?
Yep, we're good.
Alright. So before we start, I have a few questions for everyone here. Who here plays a sport? Who here plays a musical instrument? Great. Who here wants to grow up, have a well-paying job, a family, kids? Who here has that dream? Who wants to do something like that? Alright. Now what if I told you that in vaping, you're risking all of that? Chronic smoker's cough, respiratory disease, good luck playing a sport if you can't breathe. Gum damage, tooth loss, you want to sing, you want to play an instrument, you're going to struggle with that. Nicotine in the vapes, that'll hinder your brain development, so getting a well-paying job, that's going to be hard for you. And $500 fine if you're caught. I definitely don't have that money, and my parents would not pay for it, so bad things. I'm Kyle.
I'm Teddy.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brendan.
And we did an anti-vape PSA. You don't have the clicker.
You want me to do it?
Yes, it's not.
Is it on?
This?
Oh,
Okay. Brief history of anti-smoking. In 1604, King James I wrote a decree about how much he hated tobacco. I don't know why I put that on there. And then the Nazis hated smoking too. So, Hitler. And more recently, smoking PSAs have been directed towards parents who have money, kids that they don't want to give secondhand smoke to, and they're concerned with death. So smoking is like paying someone to kill you, cancer cures smoking, and tobacco companies kill their best customers. That's all focused on death and cancer. And Truth is a current anti-smoking company, and they focus mostly on logos and giving facts about big tobacco companies. This is a PSA for a current anti-smoking. What it's literally trying to say is don't vape, or not don't vape, don't smoke. No, not don't smoke. Don't spend money on cigarettes. And you can tell that because the control your paycheck means you're paying money, and you know it's big tobacco products, but the cigarettes in the background lead you to believe that it's about cigarettes. What it's implying is that cigarettes are expensive. Control your paycheck means that you're spending a lot of money on it, and it's taking up the majority of your paycheck, so that makes them very expensive. And then there's many in the background, so they're kind of taking over everything. For its techniques, pathos, the don't let and your paycheck are in orange, which pop out, so don't let it happen, and your paycheck makes it very important. The cigarettes are flying, they're kind of out of control. There's some smoke in the background that you can't really see on the projector, but it's there. And then the background's kind of dark, which helps everything pop, but also makes it kind of ominous. And then for ethos, the way it's worded makes it sound like it's happening, so don't let big tobacco products control your paycheck, because that relates to the audience, saying this might be already happening, so don't let it. And then the target market is adults, because they're getting a paycheck, and kids don't get that, so it's directed at adults with money.
So this smoking PSA is basically about lung cancer, and the target audience is older people who have been smoking because of the words keep, and it uses a lot of logos, or pathos, because of the big words saying that for more information on lung cancer, keep smoking. And it has like a lighter background, but then the words are dark and like bolded just so it pops out. And there's a little bit of ethos with the association name in the bottom right corner. And it's basically implying that if you keep smoking, you're going to develop bad things like lung cancer and many other things that can harm your body. So why our association is better than the smoking ones? Because it's more modernized to fit teens. According to the Centers for Disease Control, American youth are now more likely to use e-cigarettes than any other form of tobacco. So that fits around more teens that don't really smoke anymore. And inside those vapes are unregulated ingredients such as like nicotine and like nickel and all those other things that's in the juice when you start hitting it. And the unregulated sales means like basically you can go to jail for getting it because they can't sell to minors. And the flavoring that they add to it, it targets more younger audiences because it like really when you smoke, it doesn't taste that well. It's about getting the buzz, but now with vapes, it's with buzz and you could have a nice flavor to it. So here's a chart from 1995 to 2014. It shows cigarettes, which is in blue, e-cigarettes, which are in yellow, and both e-cigarettes and cigarettes, which is in red. So the use of cigarettes has gone down, but since 2014, the use of e-cigarettes has gone up from, this is all about teens by the way, and the use of e-cigarettes has actually influenced the use of cigarettes as well with the red, because it should be just 3.9, but it's also adding that 3.8 extra to it.
Okay, for our logo, we have an emoji skull vaping its dreams away. In other words, we're trying to say that vaping will make you throw away like all your dreams in life. So our target audience could relate to this logo. We chose to change the skull from a normal skull to an emoji skull because most teenagers today are like very familiar with emojis as they use them in their everyday lives. The font of dreams was used to show that your dreams will swiftly vanish away, as they have the dashing line before the letters. The vape is red because red means dangerous, and the smoke is gray because gray is usually associated with loss and depression, two of the things that will occur if you start to vape. In our slogan, we are warning teens who vape what will happen to their lives. We bolded the words "don't vape" to really get our point across, and used the words "dreams" to show that someone's immediate life might not be affected, but their future will definitely be affected. And we use the cracked font to show how vaping will ruin your life.
Alright, so for our social media, we chose to use Instagram because it applies to our target audience. 76% of teens 13 through 17 are using Instagram, so that applies most to our target audience of male teenagers. And so our profile name was Escape the Vape, and instead of using more of an official administration foundation name, it applies to our target audience more as a rhyming phrase to attract the attention. And so our first post shows a man vaping, and he's not involved in a group of more happy-looking people in the back. And it uses pathos because if you're seeing that, you don't want to be the one left out because of the fact that you're vaping. And also the bright colors show happiness for the people that aren't vaping. Our next post shows a person running away from vape smoke, and so that uses pathos because it uses fear because of the fear of the vape and how you don't want to be around it. And then it also says minors caught vaping will be fined and their permanent record will be tarnished forever. So that uses logos because it's facts and it's a real statistic. And then also we put our logo in the bottom right corner, which uses ethos because of our recognizable logo. And then the last post that we're going to show you shows a person's gross-looking teeth because of vaping. So this uses pathos because nobody really wants their teeth to look like that, and nobody wants their teeth to look gross. And then also in the caption it says it compares yellow teeth and white teeth, and it's kind of just, it uses logos because you use logic. You'd rather have nice white-looking teeth than yellow-looking teeth because of vaping.
And this is our advertisement. Instead of putting it in a billboard or magazine, we decided to put it on a phone ad as a pop-up because our target audience is on apps much more than they're looking at billboards or reading magazines. What it's literally saying is don't vape, and you can see that because there's this black ominous smoke coming out of the vape, and the words "you'll never sound the same," that implies consequences if you do vape, so it's just saying don't do it. What it is implying is that vaping will cause you to not be able to play music right, and so there's the black smoke coming out, which is not like beautiful musical notes, it's just smoke. And then you'll never sound the same means that you don't sound good anymore. So you will never sound the way you used to. The techniques we used, in Pathos, the black smoke is very ominous and it's all-encompassing. So it gives you a bad feeling. The words, you'll never sound the same, that implies consequences forever. And the font is falling apart, just like your ability will be falling apart. It's red, so it stands out, but it's also, it's urgent, and it kind of looks like blood, which is, we associate that with bad things. And then we put the hat on the guy to show how young he is, just to make it appeal more to a younger audience. And then for Ethos, we have our logo, and we have the Instagram logo, which that is very recognizable to our target audience. That is it.
Time out. Is it boiling hot in here?
No, it's pretty.
Yes.
Can we open a window over there, guys? Please. Because when we shut the door, pause it for a second. When we shut the door, it gets like a million degrees. Okay.
It's cold now.
Okay. And there's a blanket over there. Okay. We focused again. Let's make sure as audience members we're not just doing anything that's distracting. Anybody else? Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hey, congrats, man. Good to see you. Get this vape right here.
Oh man, gotta stick with my dreams. It is bad for you.
Yes.
Yes.
It's gonna hit the X because it's gonna autoplay. Can you click the
Yeah,
X?
go back to it.
Yeah, clear it. Just
Love winter time.
clear the.
Love winter time.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
It's stressful.
Okay, so for our commercial, through the content of it, with the commercial, we are literally trying to persuade teenagers not to vape. We are attempting to show them the negative side effects that come with vaping, along with the fact that it is also illegal. For our interpretation, we said that the commercial is made to show teenagers what vaping can do to their future. It shows a high school football player scholarship burning and his trophy breaking after winning the championship game. We want teens to realize how vaping can mess up what plans you have for the future and life beyond high school. And then for our techniques, within the commercial we incorporated mostly pathos through the excitement of winning the championship, something that's a huge goal for all sporty teenagers. And then the music goes from an exciting and fast song to a slow or a sad and slow piano song. And then our trophy breaking and the scholarship burning shows dreams breaking down. And then this conveys the negative emotions and sadness. And then through the rewind, we said it feels like redemption, and it makes you think that you're being given a second chance. With Ethos, with the song we put in the background, it's a very popular song by the artist Lil Uzi Vert, and it's known by many teenagers in high school. And then with the shakiness of the screen, you can tell that it's filmed on a phone, just like all social media is. And then we also incorporated our logo at the end there.
Okay, for live promotion, we created a wheel that can be spun that has different consequences of vaping on it. There's only one slot out of 14 that is even partially good. It is the "you were cool for 5 seconds, spin again" slot. We're implying that there are no positive effects of vaping, but rather harmful outcomes. You may receive many of these outcomes during your life, not just one. This promotion fits our target audience because we have created QR codes that can be scanned by a smartphone, which is one of the most popular things in a teenager's life. We use logos by us having real outcomes of vaping, not just random facts. This makes us more credible as, we're not making up random facts. So could we now have 3 other teenage boys in this class come up and demonstrate this promotion as they fit our target audience?
You weren't in class. You weren't here.
And then just tell us what you did.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Hey yo, I'm cool for 5 seconds.
Spin it again, spin it again.
Thank you.
I got a smoker's talk.
Oh.
Now I got lung cancer.
They keep taking me to a bar, Kevin.
Well, as you can see, there are no good side effects of vaping, so don't do it.
You didn't vape. Congratulations. Alright,
Dang it.
in conclusion,
I'm gonna keep doing that.
what we did in our entire project was we took smoking ads and we modernized it to vaping because we did research and we found an issue that needs correcting that is even more important than smoking at this point for our age group. And we took basically us, we took teenage males, and we decided what would we relate to the most, so we made Don't Vaporize Your Dreams, and a logo that works really well for it. We made 4 different mediums that can relate to our target audience, and display the bad things that will happen to your dreams if you do vape. And that is all. We just presented it for you. Thank you very much.